Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of OIS in Source, the Football Manager game with Just Football and the Nordic Football Podcast. How are you all today? Hope everyone is doing well and keeping safe. Yes, we're going to get into it, and obviously, the first place to start, if you watched episode 2, you will have noticed we were out of contract, and the first place to start this week with OIS in Source is, as you can see here, Mr. Jota Borgsen has signed a new contract. And it's till 2021, so it's another year and a bit extension, pretty much to just 2 years. We are currently in pre-season and ready to play our first game, in fact, of the new season, the 2020 season, with Örgryte, who have been promoted to the Allsvenskan in Sweden. And yeah, just to give you a bit of information, obviously, to those who watched episode 2, you'll have known that we were in contract talks. We had some talks with different clubs, Troyes in France, and we had a job interview with Nat Breda as well in the Eredivisie. But Jota Borgsen was unsuccessful in those applications. And although he was in talks with Millwall as well, Millwall came in, the board panicked and decided to offer a new deal. And as you can see, they're delighted with everything and the contract was accepted. So we're going to head into the Allsvenskan season. Looking forward to it. I couldn't leave. We just couldn't leave Örgryte at this stage. We've spent 4 seasons trying to get this club into the Allsvenskan. You know, we've had a hard graft really the last 4 years, and we've done it. So this season, this is the results from last year, as you can see, fantastic run where we were unbeaten for so long and then kind of threw it away in the last 4 games. We'd already won the title by this point, but you know, the job had been wrapped up by that point, and we were there. So yeah, we're going to continue the season with Örgryte and see where we go. The plan with the game is, I'm not entirely sure. We've got a lot of leagues running, so if at any point we do need to leave, there are options out there. As you'll see from the job centre, there's a lot of jobs maybe potentially available. We've got Norway. We've got a lot of different jobs running. We've got Norway, England, France. There you go, Brann. Jasio, there's a lot of jobs, Colchester United, Hod, Tranmere, Czech Republic national team. Plenty of options if we do ever choose to leave, but Jota Borgsen is, for now anyway, going nowhere. So, happy with that, and this is the squad as we've talked about before. We're getting ready for the new season, and there's a few other little bits and pieces of news before today. We're going to go through a couple of things and tell you what's going on. So, yeah, first place to start, I suppose, is a new member of staff. Now, we lost our chief scout, Kent Carlson, who is, in real life, is a bit of a legendary figure at Örgryte, and he retired in the summer. Job done, in the winter, sorry, the job was done. He had helped us get promoted, a long, long service to the club, and so we have got a new chief scout, Rene Makondela. Now, he may be familiar to anybody who followed Swedish football because he used to play for Djurgården, Gefle, Helsingborg, a long time in Häcken, Beko Häcken, as a player. So he's familiar with Göteborg, and he has become a scout, and we have signed him from Västerås. He actually cost us 15k in terms of sign-on fee. But if you look at his stats, it's pretty good. We're pretty happy with him. Judging player ability 13, potential 13, level of discipline 19. So, you know, disciplined character, takes things seriously. And one of the key reasons we brought this player, this scout in, is because he has a scouting knowledge of African leagues, which is something that we lack massively. So he knows Sweden inside out, having played here his entire career pretty much, but also he knows Congo pretty well, Democratic Republic of Congo, and he recommended a couple of players already, which we're going to scout. Samuel Kofi in Ghana, we've got our scouts looking at him, and Arthur Adu is another one that he recommended. Now, funny thing is, we, I don't know if they still got this, but when we brought him in, we did the deal, and we said, well, could you recommend us a new signing? So, as you can see, we've given him some big bonuses if we win the Allsvenskan, or if we get to the semi-final, the final of the Swedish Cup. He's in for a nice little payday. But if you look at, we asked him to recommend a player on his first day. I said, Rene, who do you know? Who can you get us in to sort of, you know, who should we be looking at? Mr. Chief Scout. Next day he comes in and says, after careful consideration, I don't feel that there are any players I can recommend, which is a little bit of a concern as our number one chief scout. But anyway, we'll let him off because he's now recommended a few. But yeah, in terms of our staff, although we're a little bit short in the coaching department, we are pretty good in scouting. We're the best in the Allsvenskan for scouting. Number one for judging player potential, number one for judging player ability. So the worst team in the league is Ostersund. So there you go in terms of that, and yeah, at both areas. So yeah, we've got a data analyst, Tom Neuhaus. I'll quickly introduce you to him. Now look at his stats. A Norwegian guy. He is pretty exciting in terms of he sends us match reports and gives us the lowdown on players. So I'm very happy with him. And then we've got a few others who are still here from back in the day, or not as good in terms of judging players, but good working with youngsters. We'll keep him around. Magnus Callender, very good at judging potential, and he knows the Scandinavian leagues really, really well. Then you've got Rennie Makondeli, as I mentioned, and Rune Holm, who's our director of football now. We've got him. He's got really, really good stats as well. Working with youngsters, player potential, player ability, our director of football. Got him from Langervag. And he's been really good for us. So yeah, we've got a really good team behind us in terms of scouting. We do need some new coaches probably. And in terms of medical staff, we're one of the worst in the Allsvenskan. Osters are the worst. Elfsborg are the worst. Let's just look at the Allsvenskan for you, because there is a bit of a shock in the table. Now, is there any club here that you wondering where they are? Anyone spring to mind immediately? I'm sure there will be one, because AIK are in the second division. Now they got relegated, incredibly, in 2017. Relegated in 2016. So yeah, they went down, and they are not in Allsvenskan in this game. So incredible, really. They've got Hans Eklund as their manager. They've got Josimar Joten as their captain. It's yeah, madness for AIK. They've gone down. So yeah, there will be no AIK in this league this season. This is this Premier League, or Allsvenskan, for the year to come. So you can see a few teams who aren't in it in real life. Obviously, Osters are not there in real life. Bromma Poikin are now in the third division in real life. And Gefle as well. Degerfors. But still some of the big guns, Djurgården, IFK, Malmo. So a lot of work to be done. And in terms of the overview of the season, just very quickly, it will change, but season preview-wise, Malmo dominate the media's Dream 11 at this moment in time. Pretty much every player is a Malmo player, except for this lad, Frederick Runro. No, he's at Malmo as well, so there you go. Christopher Tonnesson is at Norrköping, and Philip Dagerstad. So pretty much an entire Malmo 11. And indeed, Malmo are the champions. Predicted to be 13th. We are 600 to 1 to win the title. So if anyone has any kind of fancying for us, who knows? Now, let's go back. And yeah, the other bits of news I just want to quickly run you through. Finances. Let's look at the finances of the club, because a few people were wondering. We're in a little bit of debt. 947,000 in total. We do pass FFP, currently 2.38 million balance, so that's all right. We've got a few debts and loans. Paying off these bank loans is the main debt, really. Net debt, 3 million. And this is why the board are a bit stingy. They didn't allow us to send Johan Blomberg on a coaching course. We mentioned on Twitter at Nordic Footpod that we were considering giving Blomberg a new contract. He's a pretty good coach as well as a player. But the board said no, probably because of our debt. But we do have some money to spend, and our wage budget, we're well below that, 44k compared to 62k. However, since he joined us, there has been some in and outs. say hello to our newest signing, Mr. Success Nwusu, who we've just signed in the last week or so for 110k. That includes add-ons and that kind of thing. He is formerly Syrianska, Helsingborg, Hammarby. The game, pretty good average rating. We just felt we needed to beef up the midfield. A little bit concerned about central midfield options, so Success has come in, and as you can see, his attributes are quite good. He compares pretty well with our main players. If you look at probably our best midfield, I'd say it's probably Yaguda. Pretty similar attributes, so he will add some steal in that defensive midfield area. I think 25, both 25, so they will compete probably for that midfield spot, and I think we needed a little bit of extra power in there. And then we got rid of a few as well. Quite a few youth players are gone. David Johansson decided to leave us, went to Umeå. Good servant for the club, but hadn't really played much in recent seasons. And then we talked about in Meet the Squad on episode 2, we talked about Christ and Kodia. We got him on a new deal, as I said. We were going to try and tie him down, and we have done that, given him a new contract to 2022, the left back, but immediately loaned him out to Ljungskile in 3rd division. So Mr. Christ, 18 years old, from our academy, he will spend the season there and hopefully come back a much better player, because he does have very, very good potential, according to our scouts. So he's gone. Alan Naib as well, former AIK graduate. He's gone to Eskilstuna City on loan, get some experience for him. And then we've released quite a few players. Now, pre-season, because I've run through pre-season just for those who want to know. Done all right, but, 2 wins, 1 draw, 2 defeats. Now, I wasn't really happy with our pre-season at times. We've played a lot of Danish teams. We beat Viborg 2-0. As you can see, Yaguda and Tibling Ugwo with the goals. Alexis Yaguda with a lovely little finish. Lucas Fernandez, we talked about our new signing. Yaguda on the score sheet there. And then Tibling Ugwo as well, one of our young players. Another assist for Fernandez. So those were the highlights of one of the games. And yes, that was probably our best win, 2-0. We drew 0-0 at Trelleborg. We lost to FC Copenhagen. Andreas Cornelius put us to the sword there. And we also lost to Nyköping, who in the Danish 1st division. Wasn't too happy with that one, to be honest. Lost it 2-1. I put in Guet. We didn't have the greatest of performances in that game. This was the formation that we're going for at the moment. I've been rotating it quite a lot, changing players, giving everyone an opportunity. And yeah, we lost that one. And then we won a friendly against a random team in Denmark again, Brøndshøj Bold Club 1-0. And that was a goal from Lagmucci, who's on the transfer list at the moment. But just to highlight before we start the Swedish Cup, there's a couple of players from our academy that we've been looking at in pre-season. I didn't mention to you in Meet the Squad. A few that might have thrown themselves into contention. First one, Daniel Hermansson. He has come up from our academy. Last season we loaned him out, and he was at Angelholm and Biking forward, and he did alright, but if you look at this game, he was player of the match in our last friendly, 7.3. We just gave him a random chance because we thought they were a bit of a weak team, but he turned up with a man of the match performance at the centre of defence. So we were very happy with him, and who knows, he might have played himself into contention. And then, if you look at 2 other players, I just want to highlight to you quickly. Gustav Lindberg, who's come from the academy again, an 18-year-old centre-back. We've given him 2 games, 2 sub-appearances, and he's got 6.72, potential to be a quality player. Another centre-back, looks okay from the under-19 team. I do like to give opportunities in pre-season to, under-19 players, under-21 players, because if you don't look at them in pre-season, when are you ever going to look at them, really? So we gave Lindberg some games, and we also gave 2 Lindbergs. Now this kid, Joseph Lindberg, 17 years old, valued at 6.5k, potential to be a quality player, potential ability there you can see, and he's already improving from just training with the first team. His pace has gone up, free kick taking has gone out, heading, good finishing. He looks like an interesting player now. We gave him 1 start and 1 sub appearance. It's been okay, but we do have a lot of strikers, so he is fighting really there. And on that note, one of the players that we haven't been too happy with in pre-season is Rian Brewster. He's struggling. 1 game, 1 sub appearance, 6.4. So, although he's a legend of Liverpool's academy and England's under-17 team in real life, not really adapting to life in Sweden at the moment. And AFC Eskilstuna want him on loan, so it might even be something we consider. Anyway, let's crack on. So then, guys, let's get into it. The first official game of the 2020 season. Remember, this is our 5th season with Örgryte, 4 seasons in the 2nd division. This is the first official season in Allsvenskan, and we start, as always, in Sweden with the Swedish Cup. So this is the first official match. We're playing Ostersund, who are also in our league. Let's just have a quick look at them. Not a bad team, I guess. Not much to fear, is there? Who knows? We shall soon find out. They've got a few decent players. Anyway, we'll find out all about them very soon because we're playing them. This is the team we are going for to start the season then. Remember, Swedish Cup kind of has a role where some teams take it as like a pre-season preparation. Some take it really seriously. Some don't really care about the cup at all and just tick off the games. We're going to take it fairly seriously, but I am also going to give a couple of debuts. Now, one player I hadn't mentioned in the players just then was Joachim Lindt. Another left back, he's 17. We've played him in the under-19 team, and he's come through, and I quite like the look of this guy's jib. I mean, his stats aren't great. You can kind of ignore them. Not exactly the best, are they? But he's fit. That's one thing you can say about him, and he's got stamina. But anyway, you don't learn if you don't play. So, Joachim Lindt is going to make his Örgryte debut as a 17-year-old. We're at home, so the home fans have something to get excited about. Otherwise, it's pretty much mostly, more or less, some of the players that I would play for the first team. Daniel Hermansson, the lad I just told you about, he has earned his place with that man of the match performance. He will start, and he has played before for us in the league. So this isn't his first ever start, but it is his cup debut for Örgryte. He is going to man the defence. He gets in ahead of Luis Pedro because I'm not very happy with Pedro at the moment. He didn't really have a great pre-season, and he kind of played a couple of games where he looked uninterested. And if you're looking uninterested, then, maybe you need a bit of a kick up the backside, and that is what we're going to give him by dropping him for the player that he's tutoring, because he is actually the tutor of Hermansson. So how does that feel? The master has to sit back for the apprentice. Otherwise, it's pretty much a regular team. We have Christopher Lina as well. He's going to play at the centre-back, and he is an important player for us and a solid dressing room character. So he will play. So we've got back 3, Batista Mendy is going to come in, Hermansson, Lina, hopefully he's strong enough. Keyboom will start in goal. Our most senior goalkeeper, Boris Tatar is going to play, the Montenegrin international. He will play as wing-back. Lindt, the youngster. Then we got Svensson as well, who I told you about, the 18-year-old. I'm going to give him a chance to start the season and see how he likes it, see how he can cope with the pressure. So we've got a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old there. Alexis Yaguda gets the start, but Mr. Success is on the bench, so he may well get his debut. I've given him the number 8 shirt. And then Lucas Fernandez as well will make his debut for Örgryte here. He's going to play on the right-hand side as a winger to start with. Oppa and Nguet as well as a left winger, and Patrick up front. So a fairly strong side. Let's see how we get on. Yeah, they're lacking max sharpness. That's fine. I usually like to run the game with the key highlights on, and I usually run it in analyst mode. So as you can see, Jota Borgson 4 years in charge, Thomas Askebrand And these are the two key men. They think Yaguru and Wenbangomo, Brees. This is our group, 3 O's. Osters, Örebro and Örgryte, and Team TGFF, whoever they are. And the prediction is a draw from the Göteborg Football Press. So let's get into the game. And what you'll see as we go along is I've got a love-hate relationship with many a journalist on this game. Christopher Hansen from the Swedish Football Review. He's a devious character and I hate him. We absolutely hate him. He hates me. I hate him. He always calls me up with questions and our relationship is so bad that I just ignored him. So, with less success out of the starting 11, when can we expect him to get his first start for the club? I'm just going to say no comment because I hate him. Public want a proper answer. I'm going to say let's talk about the players involved, shall we? And Ruben Gatta out. Yeah, he's rested. Wow, this guy. You begin with a tricky match. Yeah, I really don't care. No comment. How important is it to start your group fixtures with a victory? Plenty of football ahead of us. Just leave me alone, please. So yeah, me and this guy, we don't get on at all. So he probably won't be happy with that interview. Opposition instructions. Yeah, Jonathan Levy's the key man. We'll close him down. Team talk. I'm just going to be calm here and say, go out there and impress me. Let's get into this. First game of the 2020 season with Örgryte OIS in source. Let's see how we do. As I mentioned, I like to play it on analyst mode. You can see the whole pitch. You can see the spacings on the field. See how the teams are doing. And there's already a highlight. So let's see how we do. Guys, leave us a comment. And remember, please do like the video if you do enjoy what you see. Obviously, if we can get to sort of maybe 5-10 likes, I'd be happy with that. To begin with, that just indicates that the video is alright and we can start from there. Anyway, let's see how Lint gets on his debut. The 17-year-old to Svensson, as I mentioned, a cocky lad, and that is a great ball to Nguet to Patrick. 1-0. Come on. Patrick is sensational. 1 minute in, and we're 1-0 up. Nice pass from Svensson. Nguet with a cross. And this guy, one touch. Pretty poor goalkeeping, to be fair, but as I mentioned, watch out for Patrick. He is pretty much our main man, and I can see him being a player who gets sold for a good few million in the future. In terms of our tactics, we like to control the game and be flexible. Svensson's in on corners, even though he's only 18. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the start to this game. Hermansen there. Mendy. And Lint is seeing quite a lot of the ball, isn't he, the 17-year-old? That's not the greatest of passes, but Patrick's dispossessed him. You can't rest for a moment with Patrick around. He is that good. Mendy there winning the ball. Good in the air, and I like that a lot, Mendy. Now, Nguet, he's not had the best of pre-seasons, but he did score one. Lint. What a ball that is from Lint to Fernandez. Oh. Corner. The 17-year-old he's looking quite good, to be fair, in his debut. He doesn't look shy. That was a fantastic ball. And here he is. Well, no, it's Patrick now. Foul. Yeah, my assistant manager wants us to play Lint in a more familiar role, but no, wing-backs is how we play, and that's how he's going to play. Not having that one, so yeah, we've retrained Lint. He's now retraining as a wing-back, so hopefully he will adapt as we go along, but I'm happy with his start to the match, to be fair. Now, let's see if we can counter. Fernandez, Patrick, good save. 30 minutes gone, we're doing okay. Now, Fernandez is kind of, I'm not sure exactly where to play him, but Patrick, oh, what a miss. Fernandez, I'm not entirely sure where we should be playing because he's an attacking midfielder who can play on the right, but he's also a striker, so, and he's really good in the air. So at the moment, Patrick's my main man, so I'm going to keep him on the right, but Yaguda's lost the ball there. Svensson, 18-year-old. Great tackle in midfield. Nguet, Patrick. Well, a few fans in the ground. Not too bad in attendance in Göteborg. I mean, we are in the middle of pre-season, so, fans maybe not too keen, but I'm pretty happy with that. We're in February, so yeah, I'm happy with that. Crowd, not bad turnout. Keyboom now. We are 30 minutes into the game. Lint. I don't know how much highlights you like on this. I mean, I don't know if we should run key highlights or play a bit more of an extended game. I like to watch a bit more extended highlights, but obviously if you have a feeling on that, do let us know. Svensson with the dispossession again. He's making a lot of tackles there, Svensson, the 18-year-old. And in terms of the match, we're dominating it. Seem to be dominating it. They are starting to get the ball a bit more, though. And we just have to be wary of that. Hermansson, good covering there. Mendy, 17-year-old to the 18-year-old. Nguet. Now what can Patrick do? Oof. He does love to shoot. We've had 8 shots to their 4, 3 on target. 2 clear-cut chances, 56% possession. Not a bad half, that. Half-time 1-0 to Orgrit. Patrick looking calm because he knows he is the best player there is. Keep him doing okay. Everyone's doing okay. Hermansson 6.6, but yeah, that's fine. I'm just going to give a simple... I'm going to tell him not to get complacent. And let's start the second half. I don't know why Lynn looks stressed there. Nothing to be stressed about. But yeah, I don't want him to get too complacent because we do have a habit of falling asleep at times, this team. Anyway, let's see what the second half brings. Do let us know which players you like. Oh, they've hit the bar. Let us know which players you like, dislike, if there's anyone that you think we shouldn't have dropped. I've gone for Brewster's not even in the squad, by the way. We've dropped him completely. Stolt Hermansson. The people who didn't perform in pre-season though, that have not got any kind of place on the bench, so it's a bit of a message sent to the players. The bench, as you can see, there Anderson, Pedro, Begovic, Carlson, Nwusu, Tibbling, Ugo, and Lagmucci, who's on the transfer list, but he played well in the last match, so decided to give him a second opportunity, maybe. This could be his last chance to impress. Iguda's on a yellow card now. Fernandez, Patrick, Nguet. Can we get a second? Oof, Tatar. I'm going to leave it to about 65, I think, and then make changes. Might be tiredness kicking in. It's only the first game of pre-season. We'll run through the Swedish Cup, so this is the only game we'll show. Oh, and it's 1-1. Levy, we didn't close him down enough. And he scored. Hermansson, where's he going? 3 centre-backs there, and none of them can catch him. 60 minutes gone. Yeah, it's 1-1 now. How do we react to this, guys? How do we react? I think it might be time to make a few changes. I'm going to make some changes. Usually I pause the game just to make a few changes. I think there's a lot of tiredness setting in. Lint's looking nervous, but I'm really happy with him. Going to take Yaguda off. He's on a booking, and I'm going to give Nwusu his debut. And I'm going to take off Fernandez. And I'm going to give Lagmucci a chance. Let's see what he can do. Double change for Orgrit. 1-1. 70 minutes gone. Some fresh legs. Now, I like to usually control things. I might go a little bit more fluid. But I think the main thing I want to do here is demand more from these lot. I don't know why they're looking so nervous. It's only first game of pre-season, lads. Hermansen 6.6. Is he doing enough in this game to warrant a first team choice? Let's see. Legmucci, this could be one of his last chances at the club. What can he show us? Nothing. We're getting counted on. I think I'm going to change this now to be a bit more standard. I don't want us controlling the game, but I want us to be a bit more fluid. Like Mochi loses it, and they're in now. We're playing a high line. I'm not too bothered about the Swedish Cup, to be honest. You know, if we lose this game, fine. It's more of a learning curve. I'm going to make one more change. Tatar is tired. Going to bring on Liam Begovic. That means Lint will get his 90 minutes, the 17-year-old. He's been given the number 40 shirt. And yeah, he's done all right, I think. I'm pretty happy with him. More than I expected. Here they are, and again, we've got a high line, and Levy is... We need to close that guy down. I'm going to set the tactics to close him down a bit more. It's looking like a draw here. What do you think, guys? What do you think of this performance? I'm really keen to hear your thoughts. And Wusu there, well in. And Guet. What do you think of our formation as well? And what formation do you like to play on FM? Because some people like to play a 4-2-3-1. You know, 3-4-3 is a little bit different, isn't it? And it's been successful for us. I quite like it, but you know, now we're stepping up a league. Will we get found out? Who knows? 5 seconds left in this game. It looks like it's over. Hermansen clears it, and that is it. It's finished 1-1. I'm going to tell them they did all right. Disappointing? I'm not that disappointed. I'm just going to say I'm happy with that performance. I don't think there's any need to put too much pressure on them. We're only newly promoted. And Lynn, I'm going to tell him personally, I'm pleased with how you did. He's inspired. He deserves it because he's done very well there. Let's go to the post-match analysis, and then we will wrap it up. We're going to, like I say, we're going to run through the pre-season games. I'm not going to play them all live. This is the first live game. The next one will be the first game of the elite of the Allsvenskan season. Our first game in the top flight. So, milestones. Lint made his career debut. And match stats. 13 shots, 4 on target, 54% possession, 2 clear-cut chances, 8 off target. I mean, I don't see why we should be disappointed, really. We've done all right. I think. I like to look at the stats as well, which I'll probably do a bit more later anyway, but Nguet with the assist. Patrick with the goal. Player ratings, as you can see there. So Mendy, 7 as top class player. Svensson's done really well, 7.1. 7 for Nguet. So yeah, there's a few players there that you can see. Who do you like? Who do you not like? Tatar wasn't the best at right wing back. Anyway, we will look into all that and dissect it. Our data analyst will have a look, and that will conclude the first live game. So let me know your thoughts, and I hope you enjoyed episode 3 of OIS in Source. Here is the groups as it stands. And yeah, well, Örebro and Team TGF still have to play. So we'll leave it there. Now, as I said, please do like and subscribe if you enjoyed the show. You can also catch us on Twitter at Nordic Footpod. Sometimes we'll tweet out some screenshots and get your opinion. And please obviously listen to the podcast as well, Nordic Football Podcast. You can get it on Spotify, iTunes, and anywhere else. And also Just Football Twitter at Just Football. Thanks for listening and watching this episode. And we're getting into it now. So yeah, now you've got a flavour of the team. Who do you like? Who don't you like? Leave us a comment. Leave us a subscription. And I look forward to hearing from you and hope you will join us very soon. Thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate it. And see you again.